Members, it's time and we have a quorum. First of all, confirmation of the minutes of the 26th meeting held on the 30th of May 2014. The minutes have been forwarded to members. Can we confirm the minutes, please? Matters arising. Nothing to report. Business arising from previous council meetings. Legal Service Division report on bill referred to the House Committee in accordance with Rule 54(4). Legal Advisor. Mr. Chairman, the paper number is LS 57/1314. The bill is introduced by Dr. Priscilla Leung. Kowloon Tong Church of the Chinese Christian and Missionary Alliance Incorporation Amendment Bill 2014 is to expand the powers of the body corporate incorporated under the ordinance to enable it to borrow or raise monies. We have studied the bill on behalf of members. We have not identified any legal or drafting issues. Members, do you wish to set up a bills committee? No? Then the bill could resume its second reading debate. Legal Service Division report on subsidiary legislation gazetted on the 30th of May 2014 and tabled in Council on the 4th of June 2014. Legal Advisor. Mr. Chairman, the paper number is LS 59/13-14. There are 11 items of subsidiary legislation. The report is divided into 4 parts. Part 1, schedules of public bus routes. 5 items here altogether. It has to do with bus routes operated by 4 franchised bus companies. These are changes to the bus services for the period from December 2012 to December 2013. The District Councils concerned have been consulted on the major service changes, and some of the members' suggestions have been taken on board. The legal notices will come into operation on the 30th of November 2014. Do you wish to set up as a committee, Mr. Members? No? Next part, please. Part 2, update of the list of Paris Convention countries and WTO members. On questions of patents, registered designs, trademarks, and laid out design of integrated certificates, there are 4 pieces of regulation. They have to be amended because there is an update on the list of contracting parties to the Paris Convention for the protection of industrial property. Some of the members have changed their names, and there are also new members added to the list. The legal notices will come into operation on the 21st of November this year. At the panel on commerce and industry meeting on the 12th on the 18th of March, members noted the relevant paper on the issue. Do you wish to set up as a committee, members? No? Then part 3, please. Yes, Mr. Chairman, part 3, telecommunications control of interference. It's the Telecommunications Control of Interference Amendment Regulation 2014. The legal notice is to amend this regulation to modify the classes of apparatus that may cause interference to communications equipment and services under control, and also to make sure that the regime is updated in line with international practices. The legal notice will come into operation on the 21st of November 2014. At the panel meeting of the panel on information and technology and broadcasting on the 13th of February 2012, the panel was consulted. The members supported the amendments in principle. Do you wish to set up as a committee? No? Okay. Part 4 then, hazardous chemicals control. This is the Hazardous Chemicals Control Ordinance Amendment of Schedules 1 and 2, Order 2014, Legal Notice 73. Is about updating the list of chemicals under control. The LM will come into operation on the 1st of January 2015. The panel on environmental affairs was consulted on the 24th of March this year, and the panel has not raised any questions or objection to this. Do you wish to set up as a committee members? No? Then if I may remind members, for the deadline for making amendments to this pieces of subsidiary legislation is the 2nd of July. Further business for the Council meeting of the 11th of June 2014. Bills first reading and moving of second reading. Supplementary Appropriation 2013 to 2014 Bill. Now, for business not yet dealt with at the Council meeting of the 4th of June, such business will be taken up at the Council meeting of the 11th of June. Now, it was agreed at the House Committee meeting on the 23rd of May that for the 6 Council meetings between the 4th of June and the 9th of July, at each Council meeting we will deal with 2 members' motions without legislative effect. For the 2 motions without legislative effect scheduled for the 4th of June, they have to be deferred to the Council meeting of the 11th of June. So going by our agreed arrangement, there will be 2 members' motions without legislative effect scheduled for the 9th of July, which will be deferred to the first meeting of the next session of the Council. I don't quite follow, Mr. Chairman. So on the 11th of June, what will we deal with? Well, at each Council meeting, we will deal with 2 members' motions without legislative effect, because last week the 2 motions were not dealt with because the meeting was aborted. So they will be considered at the Council meeting on the 11th of June. So all the members' motions will be moved forward. You are talking about members' motions with legislative effect. So two members' motions with legislative effect and 2 members' motions without legislative effect. I'm just talking about members' motions without legislative effect. Each Council meeting will just deal with 2. So that means there will be 2 remaining from this session. They will be carried forward to the next session. It depends next week whether we could deal with 2 members' motions without legislative effect. If not, then we may have to keep deferring the members' motions. So every week we will just deal with 2 members' motions, right? What about the Council meeting on the 11th of June? When will it end? Now, I think it will be Friday 12:30 for that meeting to end. So by then, if the meeting is still not finished, then whatever business is remaining will be carried forward to the next meeting, right? Yes, correct. Business for the Council meeting of the 18th of June 2014 questions. 22 questions have been scheduled. 6 of them are oral questions. Bills first reading and moving of second reading, no notice has been received yet. Government motion, proposed resolution under Section 54A of the Interpretation and General Clauses Ordinance Cap 1 to be moved by the Secretary for Commerce and Economic Development. Members' motions. Mr. Charles Mock's motion, actually that's been withdrawn because he cannot give enough notice to the House Committee. So members' motion. So Mr. Charles Mock would like to move motion to extend scrutiny of on free telecommunication regulations. That is the telecommunications method for determining spectrum utilization, free administratively assigned spectrum in the 1.9 to 2.2 gigahertz band regulation and 2 other telecommunications regulations. This is a motion to extend scrutiny. And then a motion on the June 4th incident to be moved by Mr. Lee Cheuk-yan, and then motion on setting up a future fund for establishing an integrated retirement protection scheme to be moved by Mr. Wong Kwok Keen. There's one more item. There's a list of subsidiary legislation. The notice for the deadline for giving notice of amendment would be on the 18th on the 18th of June. If members wish to speak on these items, please inform the Secretariat before 5 p.m. on the 10th of June, Tuesday. position on bills committees is 6 committees. As at the 5th of June, there are 16 bills committees, 6 subcommittees under the House Committee, and 9 subcommittees on policy issues under panels. There are 2 subcommittees on policy issues on the waiting list. Any questions, please? No? Any other business? Nothing under that. Meeting adjourned.